What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here from DataDash, and I hope you all are having a fantastic day wherever you are, because in today's video, we're going to be talking about none other than taxes. Now, I understand for most people, taxes not only come across as a boring topic, but in many cases, an overwhelming one. And when you add crypto into the mix, it just seems to get worse. However, it's incredibly important and vital that you get your reporting as accurate as possible. And trying to do that across a variety of centralized exchanges and DeFi applications and NFT transactions is practically an impossible task to do on your own. That's why I wanted to talk a little bit today about our video sponsor, and that is none other than CoinLedger. CoinLedger is one of the best platforms out there for taxes. I'm going to show you guys here today how CoinLedger for free will allow you to plug in all of your APIs, all of your transactions, and be able to get a full record of your tax obligations or potentially tax write-offs, depending on whether or not you made or lost money in the previous fiscal year with your crypto-related activities. So without further ado, let's go ahead and kick things off. And to start, in order to prep for tax season when it comes to crypto, we need to choose the right platform. Now, there are a lot of different platforms out there in the crypto space when it comes to taxes, and I've utilized a lot since 2016. However, I want you guys to know here today that CoinLedger is our sponsor because they are one of the best platforms out there. They not only have some of the highest Trustpilot ratings, and for me, one of the smoothest experiences I've utilized in the crypto space, but beyond that as well, they're trusted by over 500,000 users. And they're an American-based company that's focused on building the best product and service out there for its users. They support a wide range of cryptocurrencies, whether that be cryptocurrencies on centralized exchanges or DeFi exchanges, but beyond that as well, they even have very niche assets such as NFT supported. So in order to actually get a real accurate tax rating, we need to be able to plug in all of our centralized exchange accounts, all of our DeFi wallets, maybe through MetaMask or other providers, as well as all of our activities across the board from CeFi to DeFi platforms. And luckily, CoinLedger does exactly that. And getting set up with a CoinLedger account is relatively intuitive. All you have to do is utilize the link down below in the description, and from there, you generate an account with your email, verify it, and then your account's created. From there, we're going to take on the important step of plugging in different various sources of information so we get a full picture of our tax-related activities. And you only have to pay if you want to generate tax forms at the end of the process, so you can get a feel for the entire platform and its capabilities beforehand. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start prepping for the tax season. In order to do this within CoinLedger, for the first time, we need to go ahead and start by importing all of our transaction-related activities. We do this by connecting our exchange accounts, our wallets, and all the other areas we may be storing crypto and engaging in different types of cryptocurrency activities. As we can see here in this demo account, we already have a Coinbase account plugged in, one for Coinbase Pro, and along with that as well, a MetaMask wallet. And the great thing about this is that we're already starting to plug in a ton of activities here so that we not only avoid having a missing cost basis for particular transactions where funds might have moved from one account to another, but we're getting a full 360-degree view of all of our activities by having all of our accounts plugged in. This is the first essential step we need to engage in. And you can add additional accounts by coming down here to the bottom left-hand corner and clicking on Add Account. And from there, we can add all types of different things. We can add particular accounts related to specific blockchains like Ethereum, Bitcoin, Binance Smart Chain, and Solana. And along with that as well, we've got particular exchange accounts. So if we want to plug in an API key from Coinbase or Crypto.com or Binance US, we can do exactly that. Or we can plug in our wallet accounts, which can be a bit more streamlined depending on whether or not you're managing a whole range of different types of assets from one particular wallet, and maybe even have multiple addresses within that wallet. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to not only plug in an exchange account, but along with that as well, how to plug in your wallets. Let's start with adding an exchange. We'll go down to the Add Account button in the bottom left. In today's video, I'm going to be using Binance US as an example. Once we've done this, CoinLedger is going to ask us to do one of three things. Either manually input the information, which is the least favorable option here, or do one of two more favorable options. We can either add or upload transaction history files that are easily generated from the exchange over a given window of time, so we can update the ledger of transactions that we've engaged in for a given tax season. But along with that as well, we can also use the most favorable option, in my opinion, which is the auto import feature. This is where we're going to utilize API keys from our given exchange account in order to constantly feed updated information to CoinLedger, so we don't actually have to do any manual workarounds to getting information into the account. Now, it's important to understand, if you've possibly heard about API keys, they're a really great tool, but API keys can be customizable. So in this case, we're only using a read-only API key. This is not going to give CoinLedger complete access to your account when it comes to trading. All it's doing is giving read access, so it can see when you've engaged in send or receive transactions and when you've engaged in taxable activities like buying or selling. If you're, for example, just sending crypto from your crypto wallet to your exchange, that's not a taxable event in most jurisdictions. However, if you are engaging in a trade from dollars to Ethereum or from Ethereum to your favorite altcoin, these are taxable events. And having both the taxable and non-taxable events will give CoinLedger the best available information. An API key does this better than anything else. So let's go ahead and click on the auto import feature. From here, I want to mention one thing, which is that as we're using Binance US as an example, if you happen to use one of the other exchange accounts, it's usually going to be about the same process. You're going to be required to provide an API key and an API secret. This is to make sure that only CoinLedger has access to this data and information. However, if you guys need some assistance, and things may vary depending on the exchange, you can always read the help or import guides that are provided by the CoinLedger team. These are constantly updated and really can help streamline the process. So let's go ahead and generate our first API key. We're going to go ahead and head over to Binance.us, and I'm going to go ahead and give the API key a label. So in this case, I'll just title it CoinLedger. So go ahead and create. I'm going to go ahead and put my 6-digit authentication code, and I'm going to go ahead and go to my email. All right, it seems like my API key has been created. And the great thing here is that on Binance US, it'll only have enable red already checked off, which is all we really need here. And beyond that, it won't have access to spot trading or withdrawals from our exchange account. Now, there are two things we're going to get here: an API key, which we'll go ahead and copy to our clipboard. We'll head on over to CoinLedger and paste that in. And then from there, we also have to copy what's known as the secret key. The secret key almost serves like a private key, a direct line of access to being able to access the API key that comes with certain functionality, in this case, read-only access. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to copy that secret key and paste it in. All right, so after that, we click on Sync Transactions, and our transactions will start to auto-import into the CoinLedger account. So that's how you can add an exchange account, but let's go ahead and try adding in a wallet. Now, there are really two ways you can go about doing this. You could add in a particular blockchain with a specified address. So if I just wanted to add a specific ERC20 address, I could go ahead and click on Ethereum, click Connect Wallet, and paste in the wallet address. I'm going to go ahead and use a random one I found on Etherscan, paste it in, Connect Wallet. And just like that, it'll already start to auto import that on-chain activity from that account. Looks like we've got 7 unique transactions or swaps on the Ethereum blockchain run through 0x, one of the major decentralized exchanges. We can also see deposit transactions as well, so this import worked successfully. However, if you happen to have engaged in activities across more networks than just Ethereum with that same address, like Arbitrum, Optimism, Polygon, or Binance Smart Chain, or if you happen to have multiple 0x addresses underneath your MetaMask login or other equivalent wallet, then it's probably best to just import your direct wallet activity. So the best way to do this is by coming down to Add Account, clicking on MetaMask, and from here, we can focus on importing our activities by connecting our wallet. So what we're going to do here is select the relevant networks that we utilize this address under and make sure that we're tracking all of them. So in this case, I have the Ethereum network. I'm going to go ahead and add this wallet address. And you can add a second address here to also be traced on the Ethereum network. However, in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and use the same address we mentioned earlier. Select the Binance Smart Chain. And last but not least, we're going to go ahead and select Arbitrum and click Sync Transactions. Now, it is important here to note that if you've imported a particular wallet, in this case, or specific address, you don't want to duplicate. So we want to make sure here in this case that we're not going to be repeating things. Nonetheless, we've got our 7 transactions here, and so far, we only have transactions on the Ethereum network. However, if we do happen to engage in activities on Binance Smart Chain or on Arbitrum in the future with that address or any other addresses we import, then in this case, CoinLedger will track those addresses, and all you have to do is sync up your transactions, and then you'll get an up-to-date report across all of your activities. So it's a really great feature to be able to streamline the process, add multiple wallets, and be able to track that from within one single account on the CoinLedger platform. So once you've double checked that you imported all the necessary exchange accounts as well as wallet addresses, we can move on to step 2 on the onboarding process, and that's to review the transactions tab. The transactions tab is going to include all the transactions from all of your exchanges and wallets, all in a clear list. And it will go back as far as the records showcase, not just for the fiscal year that you're reviewing for your taxes. So in this case, it'll go back as far as 2017, which is where I had some of the first transactions on the demo Coinbase account. However, on the right-hand side, we can not only filter down by particular things like ascending or descending, we can do it by particular accounts like an exchange or wallet. We can also filter down to particular assets or particular time ranges, as well as a particular address or transaction types, as well as other tags. But beyond this, I want to talk about why the transaction tab is essential. It is good practice to not only just go back and try to review your transactions to make sure everything looks accurate and ready for reporting, but it also can help you to solve for missing cost bases. This is one of the biggest friction points that leaves people really worried when they're doing their crypto taxes. Essentially speaking, there may be a transaction that says, hey, you sold this position of Ethereum or Bitcoin, and the amount that you sold put back $500 in your Coinbase account, but we don't know what you paid for that Ethereum or that Bitcoin when you made that trade because you bought it from some other source that we don't have a record of, right? So maybe you bought that Ethereum or Bitcoin on another exchange and then you sent it to Coinbase because it's the new platform you're using, and previously you might have used Binance US or something that you may have not imported into the exchange. So my point here is that if you have transactions with a missing cost basis, all you have to do is try to figure out where the source of those funds are. And it may mean that you just might have forgotten to import one exchange or one wallet address. It doesn't always have to be a whole lot of work. So just make sure that you try to solve for as much of those missing cost bases as possible so you can get as accurate of a report as possible for your tax return. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and move into the third section here, which is the tax report. Now, this page is loaded with a lot of great information here. It is a beautiful summary, simply put, on all of the transaction-related activities you've engaged in for a fiscal year. So in this case, we can see that I'm now looking at a report from 2022. In this demo account, we can see that I have a net capital loss of $1,245, and from various income sources, around $8.07 of taxable income. But along with that as well, if you simply scroll down on the same page, you get a beautiful and easy to understand summary of all your taxable related activities in the fiscal year that you're reviewing. You can see your capital gains or losses marked by both short-term and long-term duration as they come with different tax obligations. But beyond that as well, you can also see all sources of taxable income, such as airdrops or interest from interest-bearing platforms in the crypto space. And outside of that as well, you also have other important metrics like your end-of-year position, as well as your missing cost basis reconciliation, or the amount of sales that you made on crypto positions that don't have an initial input or cost basis. So this gives us a really great bird's eye view of our overall year in review and any potential issues that we need to resolve before filing a report. However, speaking on the topic of reporting our taxes, it's time for the final step. Once we've imported all of our data, once we've gone through and critiqued and made sure our transactions look good, and if everything looks good on the tax report page, we can go towards generating our tax report. Now, there are 3 different ways you can go about doing this. You can not only generate standard IRS forms, which you could send off to your accountant who might be filing your taxes, or you can do it yourself manually as well as an individual. But beyond that as well, you can also use tax filing software. So you may already be using platforms like TaxAct or TurboTax or H&R Block. Well, in the case of CoinLedger, they can help you generate all the necessary information that you can easily import into a range of different platforms. So this is probably one of the more popular choices for those who are probably managing a couple $1,000s in crypto and may not have a direct tax accountant in the crypto space or one who's specialized in crypto taxes. Beyond that as well, you can also generate CSV reports. This can help not only with tracking income, but along with that as well, doing an audit trail, end of year positions, or specifically capital gains on particular trades. So these are all different ways where you can generate a clear document stating specific information around your activities for the fiscal year that you're reviewing. And if you need to generate a form for a different year, you just simply come up here and select a different year in the top left-hand corner, and it's going to give you all the relevant information where you can generate those same exact forms for that fiscal year. Overall, this is a broad summary of what CoinLedger has to offer, and it's really just scratching the surface here. For those of you out there who are getting much more complex into the crypto space, who are yield farming, who are trying to get the next big airdrop, who are engaging in NFT swaps and different types of activities in DeFi, CoinLedger has you covered, and they have all the necessary documentation and resources to help you if you're one of those more complex traders in the crypto space. But beyond all this as well, if you guys are interested in a platform that's going to help to streamline your tax reporting this year, and is going to help you to answer the hard questions about whether or not something is a taxable event, or be able to make sure that you've got at least at a minimum the most accurate reporting number possible, so you get the most accurate report to the IRS or other tax authority and pay what's due, or even be able to mark losses if you had a bad year, which can help you to write off gains in the future, then I definitely recommend you guys check out the link down below in the description to CoinLedger so you can set up an account as easy as possible. I think it's a wonderful platform. And the great thing is here, as I mentioned, I think that the pricing is really fair and transparent here. It really depends on your transaction volume. If you do less than 100 transactions a year when it comes to trading or DeFi related activities, then it's only $49 a year. In the case of the investor tier, it's $99 for up to 1,000 transactions. And for the pro plan, it's around $199 plus, depending on the amount of transactions due. So if you're someone who's really a DeFi degen and you're doing all types of different activities in the crypto space, or if you're day trading constantly, then you may want to set up for a pro plan. But again, you guys can sign up for all these with a 14-day money-back guarantee at the link down below in the description. For me personally, CoinLedger is the prime platform to conduct your tax-related activities in the crypto space. And while there are definitely other platforms out there that you guys should definitely consider trying, I think that CoinLedger has the best offering after using a whole range of different platforms since back in 2017. So that's it for today's video, guys. If you happen to enjoy this video and help to streamline the process, consider dropping a like. Taxes are never fun to deal with, but it is something you absolutely want to get right and as accurate as possible. So again, if you're interested, check out the link down below in the description. Hopefully CoinLedger can help you on your tax journey for this year and the years to come. And I think it's overall a great platform that once you get set up, it'll be able to help you going forward in years. It requires very little maintenance, only when you always use new exchange accounts or if you want to use a new wallet address. So that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, everyone.